Hello everyone, the December review here. As we wrap up 2024 and roll into the new year, we're inching closer to Season 3 and the return of And Just Like That. There hasn't been a formal announcement just yet on when the season will start other than in 2025. Filming has ended and a quick glimpse has been shown on an HBO video, but it's safe to assume that a trailer will drop any time now with a subsequent official premiere date alongside it. So I thought it would be a good time to round up some of the news we did receive over the year as we wait for the next journey of our SATC crew. Filming began back in May and wrapped up in November. Details have been on lockdown for any plot details of the season, but just recently Sarah Jessica Parker spoke in an interview with Variety and dropped a general nod of the overall tone. Though she couldn't divulge on any specifics, the actress said that the new season has a sort of souffle quality to me this year. It just feels really lovely, she smiled. So there will be layers and complexities and complications as there always are, especially in Carrie's life. It continued, "It feels really big, really robust and exciting. There are so many interesting stories with additional characters that rightfully find a real home. There's a growth with new faces. Carrie has a wonderful storyline. The story takes some big swings, and we fold some big ideas into those big swings. Some of the male characters are back, and there are some new men." One of those men will of course be Aidan Shaw, who, despite his crazy 5-year waiting plan at the end of Season 2, is most certainly still around as he has popped up during filming. The end of Season 2 had Carrie moving on from her long-standing Manhattan apartment and buying a much larger home for her and Aidan to settle into. With the ink barely dry on the paperwork, though, Aidan left the city with a notion he will be back in 5 years to pick things back up. Certainly was a big swerve to end the season. Carrie and Aidan's thrice now rekindled relationship is just as complicated as ever, and Aidan will be back in some capacity to keep the crazy train rolling along. Parker did release this photo of Carrie at the steps of her old apartment when filming finished. Outside of it being a cool shot, it could be an interesting moment on the show. She sold it to her neighbor and friend, Lisette, so the idea of her getting the apartment back isn't out of the realm of possibility. So we know Aidan's back. Let's take a moment to run down the cast to see where things stand overall. Carrie Bradshaw, Miranda Hobbs, Charlotte York Goldenblatt, Anthony Marantino, Seema Patel, Che Diaz. Che will not be back returning for Season 3 after a seemingly contentious split from the show. The character was a lightning rod for the first 2 seasons, sending an influx of emotions for Miranda. Audience response to the character was lukewarm, to say it best, and it seems that energy mirrored the split behind the scenes. Lisa Todd Wexley, Herbert Wexley, the Goldenblatts, Steve Brady. Well, maybe. Steve has not been spotted in any of the many on-set photos that have surfaced throughout the year. That could just mean he isn't in the city and staying close to his boardwalk restaurant. Or it could mean something else, as speculation online has come up with a conspiracy theory that Steve will pass on in Season 3. There does appear to be a funeral moment in the season, and speculation has run rampant that it's Steve Brady. Of course, we have no idea. That would be a rather sad conclusion for the character. His relationship with Miranda has been a bit rocky, to say the least, and he hasn't always had luck on his side. Their narrative did have a nice moment in Season 2 where Miranda and Steve found some peace together, with Brady looking on. So back to the list. Lisette, Joy, Giuseppe, Nia Wallace. Nia will not be returning for Season 3 as well, as Karen Pittman is busy with 2 other shows which have all been filming throughout this year. If there's been one big change in And Just Like That, it's been Miranda and her seemingly conflicted life changes in the 2 seasons. It's interesting now that the 2 new characters that have helped guide that narrative will not be back. Nia helped give Miranda a bit of a direction following her career path switch, while also staying together after the breakup. Nia had her own split to deal with as well and seemed to be headed in a good direction at the end of Season 2. Maybe a cameo down the road will happen to bookend the character. So if we lost a few people, then what about any new characters? Well, we do have a small list of confirmed people, including Rosie O'Donnell, Logan Marshall Green, Jonathan Cake, and Mehcad Brooks. And I'm really looking forward to the return of Pat Bowie as Eunice. Her limited scenes as the family tormentor have been a series highlight for me. And of course, I couldn't fail to mention Samantha Jones. There was some chatter earlier in the year that her return was imminent, but it seemed to just be some internet malarkey. Kim Cattrall has spoken out saying that she is not involved in Season 3, and her quick cameo last season was the official end of her on-screen role. Or was it? Maybe this is all just some big smoke and mirror designed to keep us in the dark before flipping that light switch on when the season starts and creating this huge surprise that Samantha is back in the city and the core 4 cast have moved on from the past and are ready to take on Manhattan together again. Or probably not. Just saying.
The same way you feel about Botox.
Painful and unnecessary.
So that's where we are for AJLT Season 3. It won't be long now until we see what's in store for Carrie, Miranda, and Charlotte as they continue their adventures in the city. I'll be back with my episode recaps once we get rolling along, with some other SATC related items along the way. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you're so inclined, and cue the musical montage outro.